away, Paragon. You're sucking the fun out of this whole affair.
One of Somerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose...
Old Ark.
You know nothing of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world.
Your prince! I want no part of Daedra. Help!
Come, Nebara. Let me show you the power. Gagra, destroy these fools.
Razumdar apprehended the Kin Lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Uldok Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Uldok. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Right Master Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Right Master leads the Psijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment and there! You are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Ah, Five Claw. The Kin Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation. Queen Irene will be disappointed. The Prince of Bargains. That could only... The Psijic Order's interest in all of this concern. Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Psijics have learned. Stay alert, Five.
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own? I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party. What a hateful accusation. I certainly hope not.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful.
What a rare
or
honor
concerned.
Valcerin bestowed. Unfortunate, certainly. Sotha Seal, one of the living... Indeed. But not until we finish studying the pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic. We are the Psijic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history, while I head inside to begin the augury ritual.
Friend of Valcerin. Tranquil greetings, Caraval. You will forgive me. The Right Master holds you in high regard. That is proof enough of your worthiness. The Psijic Order requires practical wisdom. Outside, eager to begin? Good. Eagerness is just what we need. Your first lesson begins now. The first cluster of time breaches appeared on the Isle of Somerset. You should start there. Go speak with my apprentice, Josaja, in the Athenaeum. She will provide the tools you need, a map, Psijic seals, and the Augur of the Obscure.
You must be the adventurer that Valcerin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Right Master, seeing as you're here in Kapor. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Right Master gathered the Conclave to prepare an augury ritual. I'm the Right Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, Such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces.
Was Oriandra able to? Just in time. For the next stage of the... We'll handle them. We want to pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthil will seal Somerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldok belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthil sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across...
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Ah, this one has been looking for you.
Drat! Which one could he possibly be?
Yeah.
Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that means... Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little... That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canonry Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be investigating? For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing. And my intractable... What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. It's unusual for newcomers to encroach upon Altmer affairs, especially since we rarely saw any...
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijic and go investigate this sinkhole.
I'll meet you in the sinkhole.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
Doril's mad! He attacked Eldon, and one of those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a... Yes, well, let's be honest. It certainly feels dangerous. And if it does figure...
Waiting to try the spell out.
More of those Yagra creatures. Be careful.
Someone there! Help! Please.
Crazy bastard stabbed me. It was just...
The court of Bedlam will lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea sload. They haven't been seen in a vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea sload come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the sload? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That sload has me worried, though. I can't think of anything worse than an alliance between those foul beasts and Daedric cultists. They could certainly have a connection to the Sea Slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here.
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there!
Witness the power of Katora, the Abyssal Cabal!
This way. We're almost there. Destroy the pearls! We can't let those creatures reach the surface! The sea sload and the hooded figure are gone. I'll try to determine where they disappeared to.
Better than ever before. Sorcering. It's a word.
This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the sea sload disappeared to. The sea sload left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature. There! I think we can get out over there.
Hurry, this way! Somehow Raz knew he'd find you here.
Sea slodes! This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me in Artaeum after you talk to the Queen's Eye.
Did the pretty Sijik say? Slowed. Daedra worship.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's sea slowed? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now... Oh, Nadoril, what have you done?
I have a lot to answer for? The court of Bedlam is going to turn me into a god!
Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Altma, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nadoril! No! No! I understand.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that. Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes? Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out or looks forward to wielding the blade. No. Raz will see to the Cannon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper.
Ah, friend of Valcerin. I've been informed that you encountered a sea slode in a sinkhole beneath Relenthiel. I'm familiar with that particular sea slode and its renegades. Call themselves the Abyssal Cabal. I thought I defeated them long ago, but it appears I was in error. What about the pearls? Val described those seaborne monstrosities. I have a vague... The Daedric princes require minions to carry out their will, and the Slode have always had an interest in the green and pleasant island. It isn't hard to see why they might work together. I asked the Conclave of the 11 Forces to ponder how we can learn more from the Abyssal Pearl. With the additional information you provided, I expect that Iridel or Amalira will be able to develop a new avenue of investigation now. The more we learn, the more the nature of the threat becomes clear.
There you are! The Right Master has been waiting for you to return. This is terrible. The Right Master and the Conclave of the 11 Forces were hoping to learn more from the Abyssal Pearl, but then the Pearl vanished.